The Blueprint: How Black Genius Built Civilization While Empire Wore a Mask. This thesis argues that many of the foundational tools, sciences, cultural systems and creative forms used to shape the modern world originate from African and African-descended peoples. From timekeeping and navigation to invention and music, Black people have contributed more to the infrastructure of human life than is formally recognized. Simultaneously, European colonization operated not only through military conquest, but through deception, intellectual theft, and rebranding of African genius. This thesis reveals how wickedness and domination were masked as progress, and how even today, the structures of the modern world rely on innovations created not for Black people's empowerment, but to accommodate others' lack of natural ability. African civilizations, long before slavery, were already practicing astronomy, metallurgy, medicine, and agriculture at advanced levels. As colonizers expanded, they not only physically conquered, but also appropriated African knowledge, often erasing its origins. The result is a world where Black brilliance is the blueprint but rarely gets the credit. This paper uncovers how many Black inventions, discoveries, and cultural forms were used to manage, guide, and civilize societies who lacked those abilities, and how empire in turn masked its dependency through propaganda and power. Civilizations such as ancient Kemet, Nubia, and the Dogon in Mali used the stars to tell time, plant crops, and guide travelers. Nabta Playa, an ancient stone circle in southern Egypt, predates Stonehenge and aligns with the summer solstice. The Dogon's understanding of the Sirius B star, invisible to the naked eye, astonished Western astronomers in the 20th century. These systems were not superstition, they were science. By contrast, early European societies lacked the same level of cosmological insight and relied heavily on African and Arab knowledge during the so-called Age of Discovery. Timekeeping innovations from Black minds like Benjamin Banneker, who built America's first wooden clock, were often not celebrated but quietly absorbed. Much of what was invented by Black people in the Western world wasn't for leisure or luxury, it was survival tech. In many cases, it solved problems created by those with limited spatial awareness, organization, or situational control. Garrett Morgan's traffic light wasn't just an invention, it was a solution for chaos caused by the inability to self-regulate movement in public spaces. Frederick McKinley Jones invented portable refrigeration, enabling food storage and long-distance medical shipments, a necessity as Western society expanded without considering food deserts or infrastructure. Patricia Bath's laser cataract surgery technique restored sight worldwide, including in underserved communities that colonization left behind. Black genius has consistently built systems for others to function. During slavery and colonization, white women often could not breastfeed or refused to, relying instead on Black women to nourish their children. Black women became wet nurses, the literal life givers to the children of the same system that enslaved them. That biological resilience still manifests today. In nearly every athletic category that requires speed, precision, strength, or timing, Black athletes dominate. From boxing and football to gymnastics and swimming, this dominance is not just physical, it's ancestral memory, survival instinct, and spiritual alignment. Even in fast-response social environments like music and comedy, Black people naturally read rhythm, emotion, and space differently, a skill honed over centuries of improvisation under pressure. European colonizers didn't just steal land, they stole language, faith, fashion, and music, and rebranded it as their own. Christianity, as practiced in Europe, mimicked older African spiritual systems. Ancient Kemetic Egyptian myths were repackaged into Roman doctrine. West African rhythms became gospel music. African herbal medicine became European alchemy. This theft was hidden behind the mask of civilization, but at its core was a need to fill gaps in their own knowledge, intuition, and self-sufficiency. Their systems of control, patents, copyrights, slavery, and borders, were all tools to claim and contain what they could not create. Every global music genre, jazz, blues, rock, techno, hip-hop, country, began with Black people. But white institutions used labels, contracts, and media to own the revenue without owning the rhythm. This continues today. TikTok dances created by Black teens are monetized by white influencers. Black slang fuels advertising and branding but is called unprofessional in schools. Black hairstyles and fashion trends get rediscovered by high-end designers with no credit to the source. Black cultural production is still the engine, but the credit and control remain external. From feeding their children to calculating the routes that carried them to space, Black people have given more to the development of modern society than it will ever admit. While others wore the crown, we laid the bricks. While others wrote the history books, we bled the ink. Every time Black people create, the world copies yet rarely acknowledges, and still we rise.